And the phones.
and the phones, everything. So here we are live. Freedom, everybody. Live from the studio. Look at us.
I'm not distracted. I'm just going to put
No,
it
sorry. Yeah,
on
if you
my
want to
face.
share that out to people,
Yeah.
that'd be really awesome. And we haven't even talked about what we're going to talk about. So this is like right on the
Live from
fly.
the studio. Look
Sweet.
at us.
Yeah, let's turn it down and then we can see if anyone comes on. So far, nobody. But that's okay because it gives us a chance to settle in. And but if you do come on, you want to say hi and you want to have some comments, we'll do our best to read them and answer them, and or we might just ignore them. Screw it, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
We're for freedom.
That's right.
I am anyway. I'm for freedom. Do whatever you want. So welcome to everybody. This is February something, 12th.
12.
Oh, who's with us? Mark Taylor. Cheers to you. You're always on. Like, I love that. And Mark, I don't know where you live. Where do you, Mark, live? Vancouver? Kitchener? I forget. I think you've told me before. So, yeah, it's March 12th, and we are really kind of historically in the middle of the truck convoy.
Yeah.
Tilsonburg. Thank you.
Tilsonburg.
I thought it was kind of like, oh, Kitchener. Anyway, welcome Tilsonburg. There are freedom fighting patriots all across this country and all across the world, so we welcome all of you. And yeah, so we're kind of in the middle-ish into the kind of end zone of the.
Yeah, the Emergency Act was in.
What? No, not yet. 14th of February.
14th. Sorry, that's right. The 14th. So it's on its way coming in.
Yeah, so kind of people are starting to know that maybe there's like something going on. Trudeau is, threatening that he may have to do this invocation they're talking about in the House. And so, that was 3 years ago. So any of you guys who are in Ottawa right now kind of celebrating this time, hey, happy trucker, thank you truckers and all that. So what shall we talk about? So the 14th is the day of the invocation. That is being challenged. Well, the government is appealing what was already challenged.
And we would have thought we've had that back by now, but we don't.
Not yet. But on the 14th, from what I hear, the prorogation.
That's being
it's
challenged.
being
in the
challenged.
federal court, not the Supreme Court, but in the
So
federal court.
it is being challenged, and we may hear. Apparently, we may hear on the 14th what they've decided. So we'll see. And then, of course, we will be in Ottawa. I'll be in Ottawa. Eric's gonna be in Ottawa.
Yeah.
Come Friday we'll be in Ottawa, which is soon, and hang out and be on the hill and say thank you, truckers. And there'll be a lot of conservatives in town because Pierre's doing a rally.
I was doing a rally, but also they've made they've also made it a Flag Day.
Is it officially the Flag Day anyway? I looked that up.
No, it's not the official Flag Day, but they're celebrating it on Saturday for it. I believe Flag Day is the 21st.
Yeah,
but they're making it their Flag Day.
Flag Day, because I had this thought that maybe it is officially Flag Day, and I didn't know. So I'm going to look that up because it might be already officially Flag Day, but we don't really in Canada. We've never really done anything with it. So it just happens. Whether it just happens or they made it up, we'll find that out. Flag Day on the Saturday, the 15th.
Saturday. Yeah.
So we'll be waving our flags. So that's actually one thing I'd like to talk about is this whole flag thing and Team Canada and the whole thing. As protesters, that my hope is that the slush fund documents. Oh, it'd be easier to read on yours than me looking way over there. Can you see the comments?
Yeah, the slush fund.
Mark.
Yeah, no, I prefer that too.
Slush fund done and not swept under the carpet. The guild. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that slush fund. None of these scandals, but that whole thing, they got to still hand those documents somehow, some way. We got to find those things out. We got our own Canadian Doge happening.
Well, if we ever get that.
Yeah. So so going back to the whole flag thing. As Canadian patriots that were protesting our government, and we carried the Canadian flag. I mean, there was certainly some F. Trudeau flags out there, but it was mostly the red and white Canadian flag, and that was the symbol for the movement. Would
Yeah.
you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now, that Team Trudeau, Team Canada, also known as Team Trudeau.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bring out your flags, buy Canadian, do all
Yeah.
that. And obviously that's a good thing to be patriotic and do all that. And then you've got Flag Day and the it's just like, so people are getting, I've noticed, at least on X, people are getting annoyed, if not pissed off, that here we, as patriots who stood up to protest our government and using, and showing our flag as patriots, and now we're supposed to show our flag in support of Team Canada or Team something else. So it is a struggle. Have you been noticing?
Yeah, of course it is. So they're using the same thing as they did with COVID. So these normies ignore all the crap that Trudeau did before. Oh, but no, we got to be. Now they're rallying to him. It's the same thing as COVID.
Yeah.
Like the trucker movement, that was mandates and everything initially, but all of us realized where this government was going before.
Yeah.
All right, and we made a stand on that.
I don't know if I noticed it before, but I certainly didn't notice.
I did. We all.
Yeah.
A lot of us did with that going in. So it's interesting now that they're all Team Canada now. We still have Sir John A. Macdonald behind a box, right? We have a lot of statues behind a box, a lot of stuff taken down, streets and schools all being renamed. But oh no, they're jumping on Canada, and some lunatic here in Toronto. What's his name? I forgot.
There's so many lunatics.
Yeah. So he's saying, are you going to bear arms for Canada?
Oh.
Well, while lunatic Trudeau's taking all the guns away. So let's see all these lefties go out.
Yeah, like they've kind of got a mantle, but I've been kind of thinking about this because people are are getting pissed off.
Warren Kinsella said that, sorry.
Warren's a nut.
Oh yeah, he's a lunatic.
He's a nut. Sorry, Warren, but you're kind of nutty. Like all Biden, Harris, like you're a nut. I don't know what's with you, but anyway, the that people are annoyed that here we've been carrying the Canadian flag and been booed and sworn at and just like treated terribly because we're waving the Canadian flag.
Yeah.
And now we're supposed to be all waving the Canadian flag and being Team Canada.
Well, some of them online say, well, we're taking the Canadian flag back from us.
Yeah, and they're saying that we've got the Canadian flag from the convoy people.
Yeah.
And so there is. For me anyway, a little bit of like, I wouldn't say anger, but just kind of annoyance. But I'm kind of turning my thinking around a little bit in the fact of, okay, we stood as patriots. If you guys want to join us and be patriots, hey, all the more merrier. Like, come on board. And the thing is, you won't know if I'm a anti-government or whatever you might, a protester, or I'm just a Canadian, which I am anyway, a patriotic Canadian. So come on, let's wave all our flags. And now who are you going to boo? Yourselves?
Yeah.
So I'm for it. I'm wearing my Canada hat. I'm going to wear this in Ottawa. I might take a few hats, but I thought, this is pretty generic. And I might take my Make Canada Great Again hat. We'll see. But there's a lot going on with this whole patriotism and buy Canada only, and I'm just buying whatever. I can't afford anything anyway. So
to be honest, it'd be impossible for a family to just buy all Canadian because Canada, we don't make enough products.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. See, what we're leading to is we're not self-sufficient, right? We need the state. So this is, and then Justin's made it worse over the 10 years. And Papa Legault in Quebec not letting the pipelines run through Quebec. So we're stymied. And Trump is taking advantage of it, just like anyone else. But we're mooches. We're mooches. You got to look at it in his eyes, and we're mooches.
Yeah.
We aren't, but the government's mooches.
Yeah.
We can't contribute to NATO. We can't contribute to NORAD. They're doing our work for us in the Arctic. Yeah. So you got to look at it from him. I still think this is just posturing to get rid of our government, but we'll see.
That'd be cool. Like, but, I think there's probably a few things on the table there. Let's get rid of the Canadian government. Being Trudeau and the Liberal NDP that are destroying us. There's positioning of the strength of America.
Sure.
Absolutely, and they've been coming out real strong, and I support that.
Mm.
I don't think I want this country wiped out by them by any means, but
Well, I think one thing that we don't hear about, and I think there's a big escalation in it, is the threat of China. I think that's a bigger threat than we think, and it's not. You don't hear
yeah, well, there's a
Um,
few people out there. Sam Cooper,
it. Yeah.
Sam, who's doing really
No,
huge
he's
work.
dropping them all.
Andy Lee's been working on this for a long time. Hi, Andy Lee, and a few others that have been digging through this whole China,
Yeah.
not just interference, but actual taking over
Yeah.
our country,
Yeah.
and they're the biggest threat to probably most of Western society.
Sure. So Canada in itself. So even if we don't have these tariffs, we're paying over $1 billion a week just in interest on it. We're arguably maybe 35 million people paying taxes, and our debt isn't $1 trillion. We were going to collapse no matter what.
Yeah,
If we were to go on with Trudeau. Now, with everyone's talking minerals and stuff like that, so we have these mines, okay? And what's happened over the years, over the last, say, maybe 6 years or so, we know we have to mine these mines, right? But these mining companies need a lot of capital to start the dig, right? And there's not enough capital in Canada because Trudeau's killed the economy. There's not enough capital. So 6, 7 months ago, China's trying to get in. And China, good, they did take ownership position in a lot of mines. And then it wasn't Donald, but the U.S. called and said, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? So then Canada said, okay, well, we're no more China investment. But they let them invest in the mines that they have. And they're still trying to get in. So this is another thing that doesn't get broadcasted that Donald sees and says, well, you're letting China take over all your mines. And it is because our Canadian mining companies don't have the cash and they can't raise the cash to go in and buy the equipment to mine. So China comes over and says, what do you need? Well, we need at least 600 million in equipment. Okay, 600 million, here you go.
yeah,
Oh, but by the way, we're taking a stake in the company. So we get ship it all over. So that's all these little things that are
well,
wrapped up
China,
in
I
it.
think, is our biggest threat
Of course it is.
as far as not even like militarily, but of course it's up there too. But coming in and buying up our land, buying our
Yeah.
mines, and
Mhm.
buying and in the U.S. as well. But Canada has let them in, from what I know.
Oh yeah,
Canada's let them in,
Sure.
without any
there's
problem.
surveillance equipment up in the Arctic that's been discovered. Um, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
so I would say that's probably the biggest issue on the Western world's table,
mhm.
and and that's why it's important that we don't get too, as citizens, get too down on the U.S. I don't like it. I don't like that. I certainly don't like this whole booing the American anthem. That is just so disrespectful. I really don't like that. But even this whole Buy Canada thing, it's fine, but it's sort of silly. But hey, buy.
Yeah.
I just buy whatever the heck. And not that I say, like I say, I don't have money to buy much of anything.
No matter what
anyway.
happens, so even last night Harper comes up. Harper goes, well, we got to be in the position to accept extreme, harsh economic conditions to keep our country this and this. So then you have Trudeau here. We're going to do this. You got Jagmeet Singh. Yeah, let's get him. All these guys have multiple houses. They're all paid off, and they got a lot of ones and zeros in the bank. Okay, so it doesn't matter
Yeah, they
for them. They're not
yeah,
going to
yeah.
get hurt. Regardless of where this goes, all us little guys, we're going to get hurt. And these are the guys making their positions. So that's where it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely is where it is. But and then the fentanyl thing. What did you think of this fentanyl czar they've appointed?
I don't know. It's hard to find any info on him. There is some. I mean, he's retired.
He was the deputy commissioner, was he?
Yeah.
To Lucky?
To Lucky.
Yeah.
But
Brendan
recently,
Lucky.
like within it was a year and a bit, but he went out to the port of Vancouver to do an investigation, and he says, "Oh, everything's good here."
Oh,
So that kind of blows my mind. So,
I don't know. I just think, oh man, I don't think this is the right guy. But I don't know anything about him. But
well, he'll be a liberal guy. And the
he'll be a
RCMP 's
liberal
corrupt.
guy. He was, he talks to Trudeau. This is just sort of stupid. But and I'm sure Trump and his administration will see right through it and just realize it's just stupid. But hey,
You still got to get 10,000 troops to the border in 7 days.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's sad. Super disappointing, but not surprising. I keep saying
No.
like none of this is surprising. Did you see Trudeau in his Paris in his AI summit speech? Like
No, what
what
can you say?
He-
Can he just go away? He doesn't realize that
Yeah,
just
he
nobody
can.
wants to
Nobody
see
wants to
him.
talk to him.
Nobody
Like
wants to
really,
see
who
him.
would want to talk to a guy, even if you sort of liked him? He's semi-resigned.
Yeah.
He's not liked by his people, a lot of his people. I say his people, his countrymen. Who would want to talk to him? Like, I don't think I'd be wanting to shake his hand. Like, whoa,
No,
that's
not
like,
away.
leave me out of it. So he says, somebody asked him, oh, did you get a chance to talk to JD Vance? I love JD Vance's speech, by the
Yeah.
way. And did you see Trudeau's face? Like,
Yeah. Well, Trudeau's all worried about misinformation and disinformation getting in AI, which is basically our political view, not his political view.
Yeah,
So that's his big concern.
yeah.
So you know what that's being used
And
for.
JD's just knocking him right off. But
Yeah.
so, well, if anybody hasn't seen that clip, there's a clip out there where JD Vance is giving his speech on the AI and America's position, and then they
I got them both on my page.
okay,
if
and then
anyone
they
sees
put the
it.
camera over to Trudeau, and he's just sitting there like a child who's been reprimanded.
Mm.
Oh, it's pathetic. It's embarrassing. But I did like JD's speech. Did you?
Yeah.
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 And so speaking of Trudeau, if you haven't seen it, it did kind of go up viral. Derek, Mike, and I did a little stakeout with Trudeau at his U.S. Canada
The economic
summit.
Yeah.
Economic summit. It was pathetic.
Yeah.
It was here in Toronto, so we went down. Derek and I actually got partly in, enough to get a coffee
Mhm.
and get mill around this lobby, and then we got outed and thrown out. But it was better on the outside anyway.
Yeah.
And we waited and waited, and then and we talked to a few people, and then Trudeau came out, and I was filming, and Derek was filming, and Derek, you start yelling at him, Trudeau, just now you say, Justin, no one likes you, and start your spiel. What about all the scandals and I'm still here even though you're leaving, and then Mike comes out, just go and never come back. So that must have felt pretty good.
Yeah, it did. Well, that could be. I
It
got
could be
to
your
start
last.
thinking. I got to start thinking now. I'd love to, till I'm an old man, heckle him, even if he's in jail at some point. But I
till
meant
the
with-
day he dies.
Well,
Sorry, I
with
got
him in
itchy
power, my time is. Each one could be the last. Well,
nose. Yeah.
initially
But
the last
that
one.
might have been, I
Well, that
know I
was-
asked Eric after, were you, if that was your last, are you okay? Yeah. But I think that, if he shows up again, you'll be happy to heckle him again.
That was 104.
We should have a heckle party.
Yeah.
What a great idea. Let's have a heckle party. Clayton, we need you.
That was the 104th.
104th, wow.
104th.
Yeah, I'm not a counter, but no,
Yeah.
that was very cool. So Canadians all across Canada, and he got heckled in Paris, did
You
he
did
not?
too, yeah, going in.
What did they say to him? Do you
I
remember?
couldn't make it up,
Oh, okay.
but I can tell you right
But he
now
did
fast.
kind of get heckled when he got into Paris. So we were like, yay.
He's on the plane now,
Is he?
or if he's
coming
not
home?
landed, yeah.
No, okay. But we should have a heckle party. That'd be kind of fun. I don't know how we'll have to figure that out. Find out where he is, like right near the end, and just go
All right.
really like a big heckle party, and bring all your F Trudeau flags. That'd be so fun.
Oh, it would be.
We should do it. So Clayton, you got to come because like you're really good at it. Plus you have that huge.
Well, his last day in office, right, would be.
Yeah, we got to do it, man.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Oh,
where he
yeah.
is.
Who's saying this? Who's saying something? Hi, Lynn. Oh, hey. Carol, thank you. Hi. Dennis. I think that's you, Dennis, is it?
Yeah.
Fuck, Is that you, Dennis, saying something? Anyway, if it is, I think it is. Is that you, Dennis? Just say something, yes. Puck hog? I think it is.
Oh, okay.
I think that's you, Dennis. So, hey, if it's you, Dennis, happy hello to our one American friend.
Mhm.
We have a few, but he's our main guy. And so yeah, we got to heckle
Yeah.
Trudeau when he
Especially on
came
the
out
last
of
day.
his U.S. Canada summit. Like it was stupid.
Mhm.
And I got to have it. We both did. We had a little chat with Rachel Notley.
Oh, she was
She
weird.
was,
Very weird.
yeah, not nice. And her shoes.
Oh,
I don't know. I know I shouldn't be so shallow, and but anyway. And your video went quite viral. So if you've seen that viral of Derek, hey Justin, nobody likes you viral video. There you go. There's your man who sent that out. That was a good one. What else can we talk about?
Well, I think that'll kind of wrap up with first day of Parliament opening.
First day of Parliament. Is it going to open ever?
We don't know. Well, it's a busy week for February. We sort of touched upon. Hopefully, the Supreme Court doesn't overrule the findings of
Oh
the
yeah, it
federal
is the
court
American boy. Yeah,
on,
it is Dennis.
on the Emergency Act, right? Because once that appeal goes down and still rules in favor of us, I mean, everyone can open up lawsuits and just let it rip.
Oh, wouldn't that
right?
be cool?
Let it rip on them.
Yeah, that'd be so.
So let's
good.
hopefully that transpires. You got
Yeah.
Pat King.
Well, here's what I
coming
would
up
like
too.
you to talk about if you're into it. The tariffs that Trump is being put on the aluminum and steel. This has got to be affecting. It's obvious, but it's part of your
Sure.
daytime business. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So Canada ships a lot of aluminum to the U.S. and it's actually shipped out of well, you remember the Canadian company called Alcan? We'll start with their Alcan. Remember, Alcan was everywhere. Alcan was everywhere. They made tinfoil too, way back. Big Canadian miner, big Canadian company. Well, sort of like I was saying before with the Chinese, they couldn't go anywhere, and they were bought by a giant called Rio Tinto. Rio Tinto is based in their headquarters is in Paris, and then they moved Alcan's headquarters to Montreal. So they're the largest shipper of aluminum into the U.S. Aluminum cans for Coke cans, all of that, it's all aluminum. Now, so they're being hit with a tariff, but they've also moved a lot of inventory already made into the States as well, and they have deals with states too. So how that works is that's still 20%. And then all steel that's going into the U.S. is going up. Now, it's going to hurt Hamilton for sure. I mean, I think they're already talking about making layoffs and shutting down shifts in Hamilton. The Canadian
Do you
dollar.
think we could get into one of those
Yeah,
places
yeah.
and do a little?
I think I'm working on something
Okay,
to talk
cool.
to some.
Just
I am
sorry,
actually working on something like
Okay.
that. But so our Canadian dollar is falling. So the 25% kind of puts it at par in a sense with the US dollar. I know they're going to roll back their costs to try to keep that tariff from not affecting, but I don't know where that would go. And Pittsburgh and all the other places in the States, they can't keep up with the aluminum that Canada's shipping down. So I don't know where that will go, but it's going to hurt Hamilton. Now, how hard it is, I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be good if we could get down there and talk to a few of the guys and see how they're feeling about it.
But like Trump is really, so U.S. Steel, 3 months ago, that was close to being bought by a giant called Nippon, NIPPO in Japan, massive company. So Nippon Steel wanted to buy U.S. Steel. So if you remember, Donald Trump wanted to get in there, blocked it, and he sort of did. But the whole idea is Donald's trying to bring factories and manufacturing back into the States.
Of course.
He's envisioning the 50s
Yeah.
in the States. And that's what he's doing. Now, you can't fault him for that.
No, not at all.
But Canada all along, Trudeau, Mulroney, Chrétien, Diefenbaker, you go all the way back. Well, you're quite, you didn't put the manufacturing in Canada. I mean, most Canadian governments were always anti-business, and it was too difficult to. Now what are you going to do? So,
Yeah, we put
like
ourselves
Hudson Bay was sold. All the original Canadian companies, all gone, or sold. So
yeah.
now we're getting,
Yeah, we put
slapped
ourselves in
right in
our
the
own
face with it.
corner, and
Yeah.
now we're whining.
yeah, we're getting slapped
You
in the
know,
face with it.
so that's just, we've got to pick up our socks and not just buy Canadian and all that, but we've got to pressure these politicians and business people to start getting businesses in Canada. And I saw the interview with Legault the other day, and he just still doesn't want pipelines through Quebec.
No.
So what's he thinking? What's he thinking?
Well, he's going to probably want a lot of money for it, but he just says his people don't want it. So
Yeah, well, that's what he's saying.
who knows? Like,
Yeah.
we're going to come to a unity crisis no matter what with this.
Come to a which?
A unity crisis.
Oh,
Yeah.
with Quebec and Alberta?
Alberta everywhere. And
Yeah.
it's just there's no, we're a freight train running towards it. There's no other way.
Yeah.
Because what will happen is once we get months into these tariffs and things like that, I mean, provinces are going to say, oh, hang on. I got to make my own deal here. We're bankrupt.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember Saskatchewan too. Saskatchewan delivers a lot of potash for fertilizer to the States. Huge. So their next biggest competition is from Russia. Now, will the Chinese, will Trump buy from Russia? I don't know.
Well,
But
that's
he
an
was still
interesting because I talked about this before, but we've got the superpowers of the world, and they're all finding their spot right now.
So-
Through the Biden, even the last Trump administration, because he was kind of hampered down. He wasn't able to be strong. But this administration, he's just like, okay, that's enough of that.
The analogy that
Okay, so Brett is saying we don't need more pipelines to ship our raw product out. What we need is refining. Yes.
yes,
think
oh yeah,
that's
that's
what-
the other thing too.
This is
Yeah,
kind of what we're talking about
absolutely.
too, refining
Yeah.
back.
He no,
so that
he's
we
correct,
can be
because we can't
independent.
even refine our heavy.
Absolutely.
We can't even
Yeah.
refine our heavy oil unless
Yeah.
go down to Texas.
Yeah, we
So
need the
I meant-
pipelines, but we need refineries.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is years away now.
Yeah,
because of
this
all
is years away,
But
and
Going
but-
back to your last point, that where you're talking about the world powers.
yeah,
So, you got a chessboard, right? So you got China, Russia, and then you got the U.S. on this side. So there's 4 rows, 4 columns open. Canada's on that. We're not even pawns in the game. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're
because
not. We're just
they're
like nobody.
they're dividing. Minerals, trade routes,
Mhm.
oil, energy. That's where everyththing's coming down to, and they're trying to control.
Yeah.
And
So this is how I've been seeing it in the last little bit. You've got U.S., a military, and industrial complex, and he's going to build that up like crazy. And you've got China, who's doing its thing and has been for quite a while, and Russia, and
Yeah.
those are the main powers. Now, how are they going to move those?
Sure.
So Trump is trying to basically, hold North America, which involves us. And if we don't get on board, he will just kind of annex us or whatever. He'll figure something out because he can't allow China to come into Canada
Mhm.
at all. But I'm sure Trudeau would love to have China come
Sure
into
is. Well, don't
China.
forget, he said
They've
that
been
was.
doing that for the last however many
Don't forget,
years.
that was the country that he admired the most.
Yes, he probably still does. So what I found interesting was, you say, well, who is U.S. going to kind of, have on their side or whatever the word is? He's not going to be China, so that leaves Russia. And what did they do with Russia? He had a really good call with Putin yesterday. He traded some people. He got a guy back in. He's got a couple of people coming back in. He said something else that kind of triggered, the whole thing with Russia. Oh, just saying, oh yeah, Russia fought along with Russia in World War II.
Mhm.
These are not our enemies.
No,
Or have been, not
he's throwing
been.
overtures. He doesn't.
So I think he's like making the play for it's America, Russia, and they'll be against China. And then he's got Israel, of course, and he's trying to make a whole thing with the Middle East. And if he can get, a hold of the Middle East, he's got the Middle East.
Mhm.
And that leaves Europe and,
Well, really, what he wants to do is he wants to pump oil out of the U.S. to flood the market with oil to bring the prices down. So he's going to sanction Iran so they can't sell their prices, their oil. But he needs to bring the price of oil down to substitute that to keep Russia in check. Because if Russia will get richer as oil goes up, that's why he's telling Saudi Arabia as well, flood the market, and he wants to drill in the U.S. flood the market to bring the value of oil down. That keeps Russia in check, right? That's his.
Yeah, he's going to keep him in check, but I think he's kind of like saying
That's what I kind of think that his theory is with that, and he's going to make overtures. He doesn't want to get involved with Europe and Ukraine. So
it looks like that's
either way, Ukraine's going to get chopped up. Those eastern provinces are going to go back to him. He's probably going to say, well, you got to give Odessa back to Ukraine, which is sort of in that port. I kind of see that's where it's going to go. He's going to exit out of there, and he's going to tell Europe, well, it's your problem. You manage that border.
Yeah, well, Pete Hegseth, who's the director of defense for the U.S., came out yesterday or this morning saying that there will be no more money going to Ukraine, and Ukraine will not be invited to NATO. That's big.
That's what he said, yeah. And the money's all gone.
That's
all
big.
missing.
Yeah, well, the money's missing.
Everything that we were saying before, they just haven't come out and said it at all. But I did also see on Fox, so Keith Kellogg, who's a former general, he's the envoy to Russia. And then Trump has also put him as the envoy to Ukraine. And he says that they're going to be auditing where the money is.
YouTube deleted one of my comments. Really? Well, it wasn't me. I'm sorry. Put your comment back up. Maybe you said, I don't know. Sometimes YouTube is weird. I think we're going to have to get over to Rumble.
I got a Rumble channel also.
Yeah, I'll have to.
I just got to fine tune it.
We gotta do that.
I made a point of the web page and Rumble to be ready by March, first week of March.
He's got a plan.
I got a plan.
Hi, Lynn. Oh, hi, Freedom Lynn.
Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah,
Better
well,
be
maybe
doing
there'll be a little change over here at Black Flag Media. Is there anything else new at Black Flag Media? Maybe that we could look forward to?
No, there's more stories coming up. I don't want to ruin the prize, but first week in March you'll see Rumble, you'll see
okay, cool.
You will see a web page, and then we will go from there.
Cool. Okay, we've got some stuff happening.
Yeah.
We will both be down in Ottawa. I'll be filming some. You'll be filming. We'll do our best to talk to some MPs. Rumble is good. Yeah. Yeah, we got to get over there because YouTube.
It's actually on there. You can go on there. I've got pretty much the first 50 videos of me going up on Trudeau. So it is there. Black Flag is right there now operating. But I got to
that's sort of more tyrant control. Like we talked about this before. Like you have to.
But this will be everything that we talked about before.
Dennis says hi, Freedom. Oh, okay. Yeah, because we kind of involve ourselves in sort of different ways. Like I am I, and I go out and do me. Derek does him, and we do things together as Black Flag. We do things together and sort of separately as Tyrant Patrol. So but they're all kind of squished in a little bit together. So I don't know if on the Rumble, like we're just talking here. So if on the Rumble you want to divide.
Oh yeah,
Tyrant Patrol and Black Flag
definitely be different.
And maybe we'll even find some I don't know, like we could have guests on and stuff.
Yes. Oh no, that's my intention of doing that. Yeah,
we could have some guests on, like the Ottawa people and the Vancouver and out there in the Maritimes. I don't know about you guys in Quebec. I know there's a few of you out there that are fighting really hard. I was saying I went into Don Stewart's office today, and you got to write these. Stewart's office today, who is the conservative member of Parliament in Toronto St. Paul district. He's the one that kind of cracked the whole ice there. You know,
Yeah.
he cracked that whole liberal stronghold in Toronto. He did.
Mm.
And because it was just all liberal, all liberal. I don't even think there's an NDP here in Toronto. There was Kevin Bong. He was a liberal, but he became independent. He may be joining the conservative family. But I think that's it as far as right in Toronto. And I know what I want to talk about before we sign out is anyway he something I can't
What's the
read her
question,
thing.
please?
Sorry, Freedom Lynn, I can't read it. It's not coming up on Derek's. So he broke that stronghold of the Liberal Party in Toronto, and so I was suggesting that, and then we've talked about this, and we've talked about it with other people, that Don hosts a rally in Toronto with the candidates that are running in Toronto, and he could host it because he is the member of Parliament, and we could get to know the candidates and maybe some of the others from, Markham, Thornhill, Richmond Hill, I don't know, Mississauga, Brampton, like the outlying areas. I think that would be very cool. So if that happens, we will be sure to let you guys know, and we will film it, and we'll be there, and I'm sure. So what I do want to say, what I want to talk about is Yahoo, no Arif Virani
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
that
next
little-
election.
He's one of the worst.
He's the
I couldn't
author
even
of
stand
PLC
the sight of
63.
him. Just as bad as Trudeau.
Yeah, and so he just put out that he will not be running in the next election. Oh man, that made me happy. Who else? Mary Yang.
She's gone.
She's
CCP's gone.
So, there's another one. It starts with an S, if anybody knows who I'm talking about. But, I don't know who the heck she is, but she's not running. She's in Montreal somewhere, and she wants to run for the mayor of Montreal. So she's not running. So we've got a list now. Marco Mendicino's not running. Sean Fraser. So these are, Marco's no longer a minister. I wonder why, Marco. Hey, wonder why? Because you're a lying brat.
There's tons actually because
We'll still find you, Marco. Not to be how many liberals have left. They all seem to be we'd have to count them, but there's a lot.
There is a lot.
So of ministers, there is Marco Mendicino isn't a minister, but he was, and he's leaving.
Anita Anand.
What's her name?
Anita Anand's not running.
Who?
Anita Anand is
Anita
not running.
Anand. Like,
Right.
oh man.
She holds 2 ministers.
Yeah, 2. Who else that I just said?
Transport.
Arif Virani and Mary Yang.
Mary
So
Ann.
those are all
she's a minister as well.
ministers. Who else isn't running? Sean.
Sean Fraser basically got fired,
Sean
but he's not
Fraser.
running. He retired.
He's not running.
Yeah.
So
But
then
he
there's
was
the other
also-
one, that woman, not Tulsi. Shoot, what's her name? I think she's in Brampton, Mississauga area. She has a or Hamilton or something. She's not.
Yes, she's out of Hamilton. Yes.
Femina.
Yes.
You guys.
Philomena Tassi.
Philomena Tassi. She's not running. There's a bunch of them, but there's a whole bunch that aren't running. And when I found out Arif Virani, I was just over the moon. And Mary Yang too. But Arif Virani, see you freaking later, man.
Yeah.
Maybe Tyrant Patrol has had. Do you think? Hey everybody, what do you guys?
Well, we did him many times actually, but I still don't. He says I'm doing it for my family. Well, how many families have been crushed by you liberals?
Yeah, seriously.
So go sit on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Oh, my family. Well, bull. That's just, they have to say stuff like that. It's the only way they can. What are they going to say? I'm leaving because I know I won't get voted in, and everybody hates me, and they hate Cheston. No, my poor little family. But good luck to you. I was very happy to hear that. So the Liberal Party is just crumbling, and now we've got Mark Carney doing his carnival show, which is ridiculous. But he's getting all the attention.
He's doing what Biden did in his first term. How he won the election.
And the whole mainstream media is pumping him up.
So
So, you know what I say about it? Here's what I say. I don't care who they pick for a Liberal leader. I don't care. Pick your worst, pick your best. I don't care. You cannot govern here anymore. You're
Yeah,
done.
you're
You
done.
gotta go. So you guys get your leader March
Yeah.
9th. You come back into Ottawa, into the House of Commons on March 24th,
Yeah.
and you will get, I can't say bad words, decimated in the House
Decimated.
of Commons.
But just make sure, let's just make sure Kash Patel gets in, release that Epstein list.
Hey,
and
Tulsi got in.
Tulsi got in.
Anybody who's following the American stuff,
Yeah.
Tulsi Gabbard's got in from the Director of Intelligence.
But we know he's related to Epstein. Get that list out. Let's hope it comes out.
Yeah,
And
wow.
that's how we'll get Kearney. He's been there.
So, yeah, if they get that Epstein list out soon, we'll get rid of whatever Canadians are on there. Probably Justin, probably Carney.
Mhm.
Well, Carney's been shown with them a number of times, so
Oh, many
probably
times.
them.
So.
So yeah, so I'm still very supportive of the American rejuvenation of everything. PP is stepping up because of Trump speaking way more of what we want to hear. I'm not a fan, but who else is there? Well,
Well,
I
yeah,
am kind of a fan, but a
No,
lot of people aren't.
He's
But
got it right.
yeah, absolutely. Like, we need to be open, and we don't have to be open about who we support or anything. Our vote has always been private.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, we're supposed to tell everybody who we support.
Well, our long-term goal is to be a republic, constitutional
Well-
republic. But I mean, we got to get through this hurdle.
We've got to have a system change that has been proven.
Senate's
They've
got it,
proved it,
yeah.
proven it to us that this system does not work, and the people have to take more
We're
responsibility, and so we have to.
we're in
do
trenchal
something.
warfare,
Uh,
and
Right now, we have
just
to. And right now we've got to get, in my opinion, we've got to get these Liberal NDPs out.
Yeah.
The Green Party, they're hardly worth anything, but get them out. Elizabeth May, give me a break. She's got to go too. And the Bloc Québécois, there's something got to be done with them. I don't know. It's going to be a very strange government coming up if it all fits how it kind of seems like it's going to fit. And we are buying.
change of government.
Oh,
for now,
yeah, change of government.
Yeah, very
So, we need to get them out, and then we can kind of work from there. Right now, we just got to get them out, and if whatever party gets in, Conservative Party gets in, which is likely to happen, we still have to do our due diligence. We can't just sit back. They've proven that to us, so we watch them. And what's cool is they know that we're watching them.
Yeah.
They know it. We have made it, we collectively as Canadians, and we as specifically as some of you have made it very clear that we're not just buying what they're feeding us anymore, and we're watching them. So that's going to be a very interesting time.
So with that,
What else you got? Anything?
no, just be ready.
Be ready.
First day of
Brett.
Parliament.
You couldn't pay me to vote Conservative, really, hey? Okay.
No.
Well, I don't know what you're gonna vote, Brett, but that's your business again. If you're voting Liberal or NDP,
Or
that's,
PPC.
or,
Or PPC.
that,
It is what it
well,
is.
I want to say if you're voting Liberal NDP, then I agree, Brett, but what do you suggest? Yeah, so, quite honestly, I wouldn't mind to see a few seats go the way of PPC. I think that in this, I have a brain. So what are you gonna do with that, Brett? I don't vote for the big, oh, okay, so, well, I personally think that my mandate, I'll only speak for myself, but my mandate is to get rid of the Liberal NDPs. They gotta go. They've proven themselves to be unworthy of governing, unable to govern. They've destroyed this country, and
Corruption.
they're corrupt, and they have to go.
Yeah.
Now, if the Bloc is a whole other matter, but let's just talk about these big three. So they've got to go. That's my mandate. Get rid of them. Now, if the PPC, for example, if they had some good candidates and they can get somebody or 2 or 3 people in there, hey, all the power to them. Because I do think that it would be beneficial for Canada to have, hopefully it'd be a decent one or strong, kind of more, I hate to even say kind of right wing, but, kind of pulling them in different directions. The Conservatives have been pulled by the pushed around by the Liberal NDPs and have had to hold their own. So I'm thinking that, Brett, keep on voting red and blue is voting for more of the same, not voting for any change. Well, I don't know, Brett, you haven't said who you're gonna vote for, but I'm putting it out there that, maybe you have an independent candidate there, maybe you wanna vote for the PPC.
No, he's just saying how corrupt the system is.
You know,
And I just said our goal
it
is a
is.
constitutional republic.
And we
but,
have to
We
do
have
this
to-
in steps.
the Senate's gotta go, the whole
Yeah.
system of government has to go. We'll have to do it. So,
Brett, I literally said in my comment prior to, well, I can't read all the not voting, I can't read all the comments exactly,
yeah, there's been a lot. to this.
perfectly.
But-
But, I just feel like we gotta get rid of those guys and we gotta do this step by step. I would like to see a few of the PPC people get in, I would, because I think it'll pull things a little bit more, and.
I think we just gotta be prepared for surprises. The length of this government we might not get an election right away,
Yeah.
pending
who knows?
thing. I mean, we
Who knows what may
we
happen?
just gotta see what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
but we gotta think, sovereignty, we gotta think freedom, we gotta think no corruption.
Yeah, well, like I say, I'm for an anti-corruption. That's my slogan, anti-corruption. I'm sick and deaf of the change we want to see. Well, I think that the change that I want to see, Brett, really is no matter what system if we have a republic, we have this Westminster,
system.
parliamentary system, whatever system I live under, I want that they know that we are participating, that we're watching them. This is what I want. I want people, those, in the States, they have a republic and look how much corruption they have. A republic doesn't make it,
No.
Anti-corruption. So it really needs the people standing up and saying, no to corruption. We won't stand for it. So, maybe we'll just kind of get on the tail end of the US and we'll see, who knows. Anyway, anything more?
No, that's it for me, other
That's
than
it for
freedom.
him? Freedom.
Be ready for the weekend anniversary and first day of Parliament, and lots coming.
And lots coming.
Well, let's just hope we win that appeal. They don't win the appeal.
Yeah, they don't win the appeal for the Emergency Act, and then maybe there'll be some lawsuits and
Mhm.
who knows what will come. I mean, this is certainly, we're just starting, really.
Yeah.
As much as I'd like to say,
Just
it's
starting.
over, it's done. But no, we're just starting.
Starting.
So, keep your freedom hats going, your freedom boots moving, and everybody, thanks for joining us. It's always a pleasure. And thanks for your comments, and even if I can't read them completely. And
Yeah.
so we'll see you guys later.
Freedom.
Freedom. Hang on.